What's going on, beautiful people? The Cincinnati Bengals 2026 schedule preview and predictions. Riggs Tamburo, Kenton Heidemann, and Seth Douglas is also in the building here for you guys in just a second. But Kenton, you got an article up for the people, man. Sportsforummedia.com on the Cincinnati Bengals schedule preview and everything that's looking like right now. So would love to hear from you, my man, about this Bengals team. 6-11 is how the season finished out there in 2025. After all the hype, as a Steelers fan, I get to listen to it all, Kenton. Oh, every year it's their year. Every year there's two real teams in this division with two real quarterbacks. That old man Rodgers ain't going to do nothing. And then he put the crown on it. So Joe Burrow and company, it's time, Kenton. These guys kind of got to make or break. They're paying too much money to Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They're doing things with Trey Hendrickson that we probably shouldn't talk about. So help me out here, man. The way it ended going into this season, why should fans believe that this team's going to be better than they were last year?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, all it has always come down to is Joe Burrow and his health. They have some great pieces on offense and a great connection with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But as soon as he goes down, the team just does not perform on offense, and their defense was not there at all last season to help carry the weight. They were playing with backup quarterbacks, Jake Browning and Joe Flacco last year. And I mean, Joe Flacco's an all right backup quarterback, but you're not going to win a championship with him, especially not at this point in his career. You need Joe Burrow out on that field if you want to have success as the Bengals. And overall, what I'm seeing from this team is that they need improvements on that O-line so then they can help protect their quarterback, minimize the risk of him going down.
Okay. Well. Seth Douglas and I, both Steelers fans. So let me just put it out there. We will not be biased here, folks, but we are going to tell you exactly what we see because we have to listen to it every year and we just laugh at it every year. You know what I can't get over? Zach Taylor. That's what I can't get over. You out here firing everybody else better than this man, and this man's still out here hanging on by a string. So whatever. Let's get into it, fellas. We got a great schedule preview here for you guys. We're going to go ahead and go through these games. Let us know how you guys are feeling. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, man, there's going to be some opinions here on the Cincinnati Bengals. So without any further ado, gentlemen, Buccaneers at the Bengals to kick things off here. I've seen some quarterback lists coming out lately on top 10 quarterbacks, top 15 quarterbacks, and a lot of people putting Baker Mayfield in the conversation, saying he should be up in there. So, Seth, I'll come to you first, my man. Do they walk into Tampa here? Or sorry, does Tampa walk in here and upset the Bengals per se in week one?
I think it is a very high chance that Tampa Bay comes in swinging. They were one of the top offenses last year. Baker Mayfield, I was about to say Igbenogson, but that's not the right name. Ibuka, Mike Evans, even though he's with the 49ers right now, Goodwin or Chris Godwin. Granted, we don't really know his situation, but I think he should be coming back this year full stride. So, and running back name. Why am I forgetting? Bucky Irving. Sorry. Bucky Irving in the backfield with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got a lot of weapons that obviously we just talked about the Bengals not having a very strong defense. They're going to have a handful with these guys. So give me Baker Mayfield in the Tampa Bay.
Ken, where you at?
I'm actually going to go the other way. I think it'll be a close matchup. I'm excited about this one. I'm a big fan of the weapons that Seth mentioned on the Buccaneers here, but there is the loss of Mike Evans. That was a key piece of their offense for the longest time. We don't know how that's going to look without him. As much as I am excited about Ibuka and of course Bucky Irving, but at the end of the day, this is week one. Joe Burrow 100% guaranteed going to be healthy. Ideally, unless he injures himself in practice the day before or something. But I think with the Bengals offense in full swing at this point, early in the season. I don't think that the Buccaneers offense will necessarily keep up, and I don't think that the Buccaneers defense is going to stop them. I think if anything, it'll be an offensive shootout with the Bengals on top.
Interesting. Yeah. Seth, I know you had mentioned something about the Bengals O linemen, out here talking like they got something out here. But
can I read that quote? Do we have time for me to read that quote real quick? Or
yeah, please. Actually, if you got it, please. What you got?
Yes, I got it. I got you guys. Hold on. All right. Quote from Orlando Brown, the left tackle of the Cincinnati Bengals. He says, I really think, and I say this confidently, I really feel like we got the best pass protection unit in the NFL. There aren't a lot of groups that could come do what we do on any week-to-week basis and have the success that we've had, especially with the circumstances. And I put that in quotation marks, circumstances. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that, sir? But yes, I thought that was very interesting for him to come out when they've been probably last in pass protection in the past 2 to 3 years. So,
bro, the fact that he had to say, and I say this with the utmost confidence, tells me you lying, Brody. You're trying to make something out of nothing. And look, at the end of the day, look, delusion's a real thing, and they have it there in Cincinnati. So it's okay. But that said, I think you guys both have good points here, man. It's a really tough game to call, especially this early in the year. I'm with you, Kenton. You would like to think that Joe Burrow and everyone's healthy and we don't got receivers with torn quads and all this stuff coming into the season. But full team versus full team, I think I agree with you, Kenton. I do think the Bengals are the better team here. But, Seth, it's too bad, man, because if we were talking week 8, week 10, I'm taking the Bucks in this game. Okay. But I do painfully think the Bengals win. But when they lose 38-35, I won't be surprised at all. Yeah, so there you go. 1-0 for Kenton and I, and Seth, you got the Bucks here kicking things off. So we'll see what happens. But moving on through the Bengals at the Texans. Well, we're going to find out how good that line is right here, right now, and they're getting exposed. So I'm not going to go too deep here. I don't think I need to explain it. This is the Bengals L all day, but CJ Stroud could give them just enough hope in this game. Because Lord knows, but CJ doesn't need to do too much here. Hand the ball off, make the easy throws, let the defense do what they do, win this game 17-10. This should not be complicated, but I'm gonna go Texans here. So 1-1 for me. Kenton, where you at?
I'm going 1-1 as well here. The Texans defense is incredible. They're great with QB pressure, and really, obviously, that's going to continue to be a weakness for the Bengals. With their offseason moves, I was shocked that they really have not done anything to address that problem, but they haven't. And I think it's going to be another thing that we see here. Joe Burrow, if you look at the numbers, he has been sacked, 213 times in his regular season career. And, he's a decently young quarterback. He hasn't even played that many games because he's been injured multiple times. Yeah. So it's like, this isn't even across seasons where he's playing 17 games every season. It's absurd numbers. So going against a team like the Texans with a defense like that, I just don't see the Bengals coming out of it.
Seth, you're a big Texans guy, man. Is this a murder?
Oh yeah, it's wrap snacks for Joe Burrow in that backfield. It's about to be a party back there. But I think we forget that this Bengals team starts out slow every year. So I think for the 0-2 start that I'm about to give them, this fits the MO for them at this point in time. But usually they like to pick it up after maybe week 4. So and we have their schedule up, so there's some games that they could possibly win by that time.
Oh yeah. Look, I have this little fear that the Texans might be getting a little overrated with all this stuff. Because of the way that last year ended. And I get that they did what they did, but the quarterback's still a problem out there in Houston. They're still beatable any given day. Because if that defense ain't on, bro, they're just another team. So we'll see what happens here. But there you go. A sweep for the Texans in week 2 over the Cincinnati Bengals. But then it gets heated up here just a little bit because week 3 they go to Pittsburgh to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenton, it's only fair, my man, that we allow you to go first in this one. So who gets a win here?
Really, my thought process on this one is very similar to the Texans. I mean, I'm not saying that the Steelers defense is necessarily on par with the Texans defense, but they are great with QB pressure. They were one of the top teams in sacks last year. I think that's going to continue this year. And on top of that, it's a division rivalry. The Steelers will be going out there for the kill. And as much as I'm not going to say that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league, I don't think that he's gonna. I don't think that he's the worst. I think he's good enough to carry his team through here paired with that defense that's going to be pressuring Joe Burrow.
I can't disagree with you, but I can't agree with you all the way. Funny enough, this is still the summer. We're still in the warm months of the season, so I lend more towards the dual threat of the Bengals having one of the top tier wide receiver duos in the league. So it's going to pain me to say this, but I think we're going to split with the Bengals like we usually do. They're going to get a fluky game out of us. And this is also week 3. We're still learning what to expect from Mike McCarthy as a Steeler fan. We're still learning. We're still anticipating to see what this offense looks like, this new found defense that we're about to have. So I think the Bengals catch us slipping just one time, but I'll give it to the Bengals.
Wow. It is interesting about the coaching thing. Obviously, you guys know me. I will drive 8 minutes that way to Mike Tomlin's house and die on that freaking hill with that man. So, I don't want to talk about it. But I do have my doubts about McCarthy. Bright side is we could have Sean Payton. So thank God we got Sean. We got McCarthy. So there's that. Shout out to the Broncos fan.
One of the best rebuilds in NFL history. So
yeah, that's fine. We can just keep giving a fucking useless guy all this money and give him credit for stuff he didn't do. But it's okay. Anyway, Bounty Gate, how you doing? It's like Conor McGregor. How's Noah? How's Bounty Gate? But it's all good. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, look, Seth, I'm shocked that you're not going Pittsburgh here. Week 3, these guys have had a couple tough tests. They just got done going all the way to Houston and playing those guys and getting the crap beat out of them. They're going to be beat up. They're going to be tired. They're going to be sore. Then they go on the road again. And they got a little fun one against the Jags coming up right after that. I kind of think it's a really good spot for the Steelers here in this game. And it is week 3. I think week 1, week 2, even maybe I'm a little more concerned about the coaching. But we see Aaron Rodgers and the boys up at ranches together doing all kinds of stuff. I don't think the chemistry is going to be a problem. Michael Pittman Jr. will have 2 games under his belt. McCarthy will have 2 games under his belt. I think there's enough here. And also, you brought up injuries earlier, Kenton, with Joe Burrow. I got to assume Aaron Rodgers is healthy week 3. So I feel like this is the better version of the Steelers team. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh here in this one. So 1-2 for me. Seth, you're 1-2. And Kenton, you're 2-1?
I'm 1-2.
Or 1-2. Wow.
1-2.
All right. Across the board, folks. So week 3, Jags at the Bengals. Now I let it up like this was the big one circled. They can circle it all they want to, but they're losing. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars here in this game. Trevor Lawrence, not going to go crazy and say he's a better quarterback than Joe Burrow. That would just be irresponsible of me. However, I think he has a better game than Joe Burrow does in this game. I think he has more around him. I think he's better protected. He moves out of the pocket better than Joe Burrow after all these injuries. And I do think Trevor Lawrence, deep ball in this game, is going to have some big moments. So, and they're going to run it up their throat. So everything looks Jags to me in this one. Seth, it's in Cincinnati, though. Do you think Cincy gets a little win streak going here?
I'm teetering with it because, one, I remember the game last year, and it came down to the wire, even though Joe Burrow got hurt in that game and he caught that turf toe. So I think he's going to have a little bit more juice coming into this game. He wants a little bit more redemption. But you do make great points about Trevor Lawrence. I do think that the Jags team does have a lot more around him. I am interested to see what Travis Hunter does this year. They're talking about he's going to have a great impact this year. But I think we see a Jamar Chase sighting I think T. Higgins pops up out of nowhere. They're always good to just come out of nowhere for 1 or 2 games where you'd be like, okay, why aren't these guys like all pros every year? And I think this is one of those games for them. So give me the Bengals on winning this game.
I gotta agree with Seth here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Trevor Lawrence. He has not gotten the respect he deserves. Really, he has not
Agree.
played to his full potential, and I think he's been limited by the team. I've said that many times, and I stand by it. But I think this is less about whether Trevor Lawrence can show up and more about like side by side what I think the better offense is. And despite Trevor Lawrence being talented, I still think that with a healthy Bengals offense, with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I think that they outscore them in this game ultimately. And on top of that, with the Jaguars, we don't know how it's going to look without ETN. Missing ETN, they're not just missing a running back, but they are missing a receiver.
I agree. That's a good point, Ben. That's a real good point.
At the end of the day, I think it has the potential to be close, but I see more out of the Bengals offense.
This also gives me another 38-35 kind of game. Like the Bengals are going to be in shootouts all year. I just want Bengals Nation, the jungle, as they like to call themselves. Y'all are going to be in shootouts and biting your nails by the fourth quarter. I just want y'all to know that.
Well. 6-11 last year, fellas. Before we get any deeper on this, I just want to remind you guys, this football team every year is supposed to be good, and they're just not.
But
they're just not.
Like I said, Riggs, they start slow in maybe the first 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and then they start to kick it up. So I think this is where their schedule breaks and they start to pick it up and they ring off a couple wins. So
you got them beating Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. And you got them beating Jacksonville in Cincinnati. Look, if both of those situations happen, maybe they are back. Maybe you're right.
Absolutely not.
But I'm just saying, to me, those aren't games that over the last 3 years they haven't won those games. Those were the games they beat the Browns in shootouts.
True.
They beat the Dolphins in thrillers. How the hell are they supposed to walk into Pittsburgh and then take on Trevor Lawrence? And then, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not there yet.
We did live through the Joe Flacco just dismantling us last year. So, I mean, that's not far off. Especially it's a division game at that too. So, yeah. I can never – it's always a coin flip for me when it comes to our division at this point.
Dismantle. Is a crazy word, by the way, but that's okay. We'll move on.
We can't act like that.
Mantle is crazy, but it's okay.
I can't disagree with him on that one though.
They kind of. I'm just saying.
Fair. Hey, fair enough. Yeah, we got to go. But I'm gonna go ahead here and stick with the Jags, but I understand the points here. Then we got the Dolphins. This one going down in Miami. We don't need to deep dive this unless one of you has a hot take here that this is a crazy L on the road. Hey, there's a chance, bro. It's on the road.
Bengals. I got Bengals 3-2 at this point.
Okay. I have them at 3-2 as well.
3-2. I got what? 1, 2, 2 and 3. All right. At the Ravens, people saying Lamar Jackson, not a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. Around here, we got some content coming out for you guys on that one. But that said, Seth, who's the better quarterback in this game and who wins it?
See, it's funny. I was just hitting one of my group chats and we're kind of discussing about Lamar, who's more talented between the two, Lamar and Joe Burrow. I think both are very talented, but one has more around him to make his talent showcase more. So in that case, I think Lamar has the better team, the better infrastructure, just the all-around pieces to make his game shine a little bit better than what Joe Burrow has. Granted, yes, Joe Burrow has the dual the best duo receivers that you want to have, but it's the other complementary pieces that go along with it. We just mentioned the offensive line. We mentioned them not really having a running game as well, and always the defense is a big question. So we always come back to how this team is going to perform in big moments. This is a big moment. Another division game. Give me the Ravens. Lamar is 7. I believe he's 7-2 against Joe Burrow in their record, or in their career. So 7-2. Give me Lamar. Give me the Ravens to get this dub.
Well, really quickly, I mean, I'm glad you pulled it back a little bit when you said more around him, because I think we all know what Joe Burrow has around him is kind of why I've given the Bengals so much crap over the years. I feel like they've just put so much stock into giving him 2 star wide receivers, letting him air the ball out, not giving a shit about defense, and then talking about how great he is numbers-wise. And it's like, I am a Joe Burrow guy. People get this twisted. I'm not a Joe Burrow hater, but like they do kind of pad, like, I don't want to say pad the stats a little bit, but that's like the whole scheme is like, let's just chuck the ball to these dudes we pay too much money for, and we'll lose, but at least we put up 5 touchdowns. We just give up 6. Like, I don't know. And people are like, oh, they'd be so good if they had a defense. It's like, yeah, but if they had a defense, they wouldn't have as many good guys on offense. So like, figure it out. But anyway, that said, I personally go quick here. I got the Baltimore Ravens winning this game. First off, they ain't walking into Baltimore and getting this done. They're lucky it's a 1 p.m. Eastern game. But I think the Bengals get exposed just as they have the last 2 years in this division. And I think that the better 2 teams in this division continue to beat down on them. So give me a win here. I got 2-4. Kenton, what you got?
I'm actually going to give this one to the Bengals. Overall, I think that this is going to be a split series, because that's just kind of how we've seen it over the past couple of years. These games always end up being super high scoring, whether it's a blowout for one team or it's a shootout, and it really can go either way, and that's just been the history of it. The Ravens do have Trey Hendrickson now, which will, that'll add some extra pressure to Joe Burrow for sure.
I'm calling for 2 sacks.
Yeah.
2 sacks.
Well, he gonna kill him. He gonna kill him. All that talk.
Gonna play a factor. But at the end of the day, though, I still think that Joe Burrow will have his moments. He will score. At the end of the day, it's going to be 1-1 in the series. But I'm thinking that the Ravens, I feel like they typically do better against division rivals later into the season. I don't know. I mean, that's really anecdotal data. It's really not. That's just like what I've observed. But that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that later on in the series, that's where the Ravens are going to get theirs, rather than the first matchup of the season.
All right. Well, folks, let us know what you guys are thinking, man. If you guys agree with us, disagree with us, questions, comments, thoughts below, man, please let us know. We're happy to talk about it. But that said, gentlemen, really quickly, I'm sure you guys saw it, but here's some quick Joe Burrow stats, if you guys are wondering whose stats those were over the past few years here. Obviously, a tough 2023, but then a huge 2024, and he kind of comes back down to earth there in 2025. So which Joe Burrow will we get? That is the big question being asked across the league right now. But that said, gentlemen, in we go. Time to move on down here. Yeah, well, the Titans game. We got to move here, gentlemen. So I won't go on a tangent here. This to me is easy work, okay? But this is also the kind of game. It's the kind of game that they're going to screw around here, and they're going to lose this game. But I have them on a brutal losing streak. I got to give them a few. I told you guys, I think they're going to beat up on the bad teams, and they're going to get beat by the good teams. They're going to have a couple good wins here and there, and that's that. So I do believe that they do at home November 1st, 1:00 p.m. beat the Tennessee Titans. So that's 3 wins for me. Seth, where you at?
Give me a dub for the Bengals. I think this is where we look at Joe Burrow like he's godly almost. He has those kind of numbers in this game. So give me the Bengals.
Ken?
I'm gonna take the Bengals here. I'm not impressed by anything that the Titans really have going for them. That's all I gotta say.
Hallelujah. All right, we're moving on through. I have to get Ken on that Titan show with me at this point, Seth. I need backup, bro. All right. Anyway, All right, guys. The Bengals at the Falcons. Now, as you guys see, 9:30 a.m. November 8th, we got a across the water game here in this one. So no technical home field advantage. Bengals, Falcons, who travels better, who does better. Look, there's a man named Bijan Robinson on the field. And when you go overseas, man, it seems like a lot of dudes, whether it's jet lag or weird feeling or a different kind of field, I don't know. You know what works, though? Running the damn football. And Bijan Robinson going to run the damn football here in this game. So I do believe Joe Burrow has his moments, especially putting on a show for the people in what we'll call early prime time. But I do believe that the Falcons, who I'm not high on, by the way, folks, win this game purely off of running the ball up their throats. So give me the Falcons here. Kenton, where are you going?
I actually think that this is going to be another Bengals win for me. And it's really revolves around the QB room. I don't think that either QB option that they have Tua and Michael Penix Jr. fighting for the starting spot. Regardless of who starts, I don't think either of them will be able to keep up with a Bengals offense, assuming that they're still healthy. You know, I mean, I will say my schedule prediction so far is giving the Bengals the benefit of the doubt in terms of injury. I'm going into this with the assumption that it'll be healthy. With a healthy Bengals team, no. I don't think that the Falcons win it. But, all it takes is for Joe Burrow to go down. We all know that. So I'll say that.
And guys, one more quick reminder. We do all these shows based on guys are healthy. We can't sit here and predict bullshit. All right. So if a quarterback gets hurt week 1, throw it out the door. Cash out. Run. We're going to. So just know that. This is not factoring in trades, or this is who we got walking in the year. That's how we make these predictions. So that said, all right, Ken's got Bengals. I got Falcons. Seth, you're the decider here. Where are you going?
I like your point, Riggs. I am not high on the Falcons either, but I do like the point of Bijan going crazy in this game because, I mean, we've seen it over the past couple or the last year. I'll just say it like that. We've seen it last year, guys going crazy overseas. But Kevin Stefanski, the really revolving door of a quarterback room that they have down there in Atlanta, I'm just not buying it. Give me the Bengals. It's going to be a close one, but give me the Bengals.
All right. Bengals for these fellas. I got the Falcons, man. Steelers at the Bengals this time in prime time. They love doing this, by the way, Seth, to us Steelers fans, man. They give us some bullshit 1:00 in the afternoon game when they come to us. And then we have to go play them at nighttime. But that's okay because the Bengals don't have real fans. That's a Steelers game if I've ever seen one. There's more towels swinging in there that are yellow than orange. You already know what's up, Seth. You live out there. You know what's up. Anyway, I might have to go to this game. You got me messed up. Give me the Steelers to sweep the Bengals this year. No, folks, it's not fandom. The first one's honestly, I think, is easy. The second one's going to be a bigger test here. Assuming that both teams are healthy Aaron Rodgers versus a healthy Joe Burrow, one can only hope. I just think there's too many weapons here for Pittsburgh. This is a shockingly, historically low-scoring series. This is a absolute shootout of a football game here. I'll be pulling my hair out as a Steelers fan watching that defense choke here on a last game drive. But I think whoever touches the ball last wins. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Seth, where are you going?
I'm with you. Give me the Steelers. I just like the prime time element of it. I think by this time we definitely have our identity and we know what's going on with Michael Pittman, DK, Jalen Warren, Rico Dotto. We got everything going at this time. Give me the Steelers. And to your point, yes, this is a damn near a home game for us. I went to the Bengals and Steelers game last year. It's mostly us out here. So I'm gonna just say it like that.
What's up, son? It's all good, G. Look, guys, one more quick. There it is. I literally was just gonna grab mine, bro. It's like somewhere right by me. I don't even know where it is, but it's somewhere close. I do feel like, you know what? Actually, Kenton, I'll let you go. Go ahead. Bring us down to earth, Kenton. What you got? Let's hear it.
No, call it a sweep, man. I'm taking the Steelers on this one. I think, as I said, with the same matchup, it's the same reasons. Fundamentally, I think that they do well pressuring the quarterback. And until the Bengals fix that problem, I think they're going to run into issues against, teams with high sack numbers, and that's what the Steelers had last season. And as Seth said, you guys are gonna at this point the Steelers are gonna have found their identity better. I feel like they'll be definitely more structured and cohesive, even then compared to the first matchup.
I like it, Ken. I like it.
We own you, Joe Burrow. We own you. If Flacco was out there, maybe I'd take Cincinnati, but nah.
Yeah, he might be.
Hey, don't forget, folks. Don't forget, we ran that shit back, and we got him. So I don't want to hear about none of that. All right. So anyway, it's all good. But moving on forward here, guys. The Commanders are hosting another back-to-back primetime game here against the Bengals. This is a shootout if I've ever seen one. I wish the Commanders had a better run game. I think the Steelers' run game is really going to punish people this year. They don't see it coming. I think they'll be a little tired here. Now they got to go on the road. Maybe. But this is kind of quarterback versus quarterback. For like one of the first times of the season, we see really quarterback versus quarterback. And is anyone confident in their winner here? Like feeling really good about it?
Ooh, coach, pick me. Give me the Commander. Jaden Daniels is about to run an onslaught on these dudes. It's over. I said this in the Commander show that we did not too long ago. Go check that out. But yes, Jaden Daniels is definitely about to put BTA to Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I remember the last time that they came down, or they went to Cincinnati, or they came out here, but it wasn't even a game at that point. Yes, they might have scored a couple of touchdowns and made it look close, but it was over by halftime, in my opinion. So give me the Commanders. Jaden Daniels makes his name pronounced once again. It's a wrap.
Ken, I'm struggling here, man, because I kind of agree with Seth here. You guys know me. You're gonna give me a quarterback with legs against a shitty defense. It's the same reason I still defend Kyler Murray to this day. Sometimes it just lines up well. But Ken, I got to ask you, man, as someone on my end who hasn't given the Bengals a lot here, I know I've read your article, so I know how many wins you have for them. I'm assuming this is a win for you. Please explain the other side here about why the Bengals can win this game, even if that's not the way you're going.
I think that they can win this game because, I mean, at the end of the day, it always will come down to the Bengals offense. And I mean, it's going to be a close one in my mind because the improvements that the Bengals have made on their defense, they signed Dexter Lawrence. They've really they've attempted to boost their defensive line. But I don't think that's going to make a huge difference in this game, given the fact that the Commanders are not a run-heavy offense. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a shootout. It's just going to come down to what is the better offense on that day, from my perspective. With that being said, I do not have the Bengals winning this one. I have the Commanders winning this one. I think what we saw out of the Commanders last year is really it doesn't bode well for like what you can really say about them coming into this year, given the fact that Jaden Daniels was out for so long. But I mean, when he is on the field and he is passing the ball to Terry McLaurin, I think that they have a very strong offense in a lot of ways. But we'll just see who's better on that day. That's also why I wasn't raising my hand saying I'm confident in the winner. I don't know how I feel about the Commanders.
I'm not confident in the Commanders. I think the Commanders they're playing hungry at this point because I believe
it's the run game, Seth.
It's the run, yeah.
They are a running back away from me going to war for these dudes, saying how great they're going to be. I'm a little concerned. Hey, guys, if you don't understand, go look up the running back room right now. Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt's the dude. And if he goes down, excuse my language, they're fucked.
Yeah.
With a capital PH, bro. Okay? They are in big, big trouble if they lose Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt early
really
on.
Impressive numbers. So
that's what I'm saying. But they're already all in on him. They lose him, bro. They're done, bro.
Yeah.
They're moving on from everybody. And then what? So Jaden Daniels is just going to be the guy. He's going to get murdered. If everyone knows he's the run game, he's going to get murdered. And look, you can like Jaden all you want. Great passer, smart runner. Dude, skinny dude. Skinny little boy. Okay, he shouldn't be just running all the time, trucking people. He ain't Josh Allen, dog. So I don't know. I feel both of you. I hear both of you. I'm going to go Commanders because I'm going to bank on the fact that Ja'Cory is not hurt and that Jaden Daniels does have himself a massive game here. Seth, I agree with you, though. High scoring. Jaden Daniels is the star. Rushes for 2. It's going to be one of those 48 seconds left. Bengals up 4 or 2-4. And all they got to do is stop him one time. And Jaden just runs at 30 yards and runs out of bounds and runs at 18 yards and then spikes the ball. And then he makes a quick, and it's going to, as a Bengals fan, you're going to be like, bro, come on. He's right there. Like, you're going to be losing your shit. And I couldn't be happier as a Steelers fan. So anyway, I'll join the Commanders train here on this one. But moving on down, guys, we're going to go ahead and go zoom. I know people like the Saints this year. If you guys have the Saints winning, please speak up. Otherwise, give me a thumbs up if we're good to go here on a Bengals W. Hurry, Seth. Let's hear it, bro. Here we go.
All I gotta say, I know the sophomore slump is a thing, and we have seen it countless times. Mm-hmm. But they set my man up, Tyler Shuck, up for success. I'm telling y'all, I'm forgetting the head coach right now. It's Kellen Moore.
He'll be fired soon. Don't worry.
No, whoa, slow down. Kellen Moore, I like what he's doing. I like how he's putting this team together. Give me the Saints. Trevor, Etienne, all day, every day.
Well, I will say, this is a very losable game if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Seth, I'm right there with you. I don't blame you for what you're saying. It's just a game you can't lose. And according to my schedule, you can't lose this one. This is what I call a must-win game, according to me. They got to go on a run here. I don't have them in a very good position right now. So you let this one go against the New Orleans Saints in your own building. You don't deserve to be in the postseason. So good luck to you. That is a Thanksgiving weekend game. Then the Bengals at the Browns. I don't want to get too deep here, fellas, but it should be a dub. One would like to think. You took Myles Garrett off the field. Joe should have plenty of time back here. Yeah, they got a good corner over there in Cleveland. You can't cover 2 guys with 1 guy. So I'm going to go ahead and go Bengals here for another win. But I won't be surprised when they lose to the Saints and the freaking Browns. But give me the Bengals here. Are you guys both on Bengals?
Yes.
Okay. Chiefs at the Bengals here. It's a big one. Kenton, who wins it?
I hate to say it. It pains my soul. I hate to say it, but the Chiefs are going to win this one. And again, as much as I hate to say it, Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. Like, I hate the Chiefs so much, and I hate to say that, but like, I'm not blind, and at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come down to. The Chiefs have also boosted their offense with Kenneth Walker, a great acquisition from Seattle. I think that this is definitely going to be a Chiefs victory.
Seth, do you second that take?
Yeah. Give me Chiefs.
Okay.
Mahomes makes his name ring bells once again.
I'm going to agree with you guys, but I this could be a win. They could be coming off a couple wins. They're at home. Everyone knows you got to have the big ones circled. I have given them 0 big wins this year. That, to me, is the one I have circled, but here we go. Give me the Steelers. Give me the Bengals to lose in this one. Same thing. But anyway, Bengals at the Panthers. Seth might have another crazy one for y'all, but this should be a dub. Are we good?
Oh, we're good, but I think it's very close though. Bryce Young, I'm buying stock on Bryce Young and the Panthers.
Bro, the Steelers took the only good player on their team.
I disagree. I think Bryce Young was overhyped at the end of the last season. I think a lot of their offense was carried by Rico Dowdle, and now they don't have him. He's going to go right back to being a subpar at best quarterback.
Oh no, I think they agree. The offensive line looks a lot better this year. I think they're trending in the right direction.
Seth, every show you and I do, you always bring up some kind of talent barrier, skill barrier. There's a skill barrier here, bro. I'm with you. I hear you. I'm actually pulling for the Panthers. I don't hate on them at all. There's just not enough. They just don't have enough. And the Bengals, to top it off, are in crunch time here. So that said, it is outdoors. You never know. But if anything, it probably favors Burrow. But anyway, at the Colts, December 27th, I'm not a Colts guy. This is a Bengals win for me, but I won't be surprised in the least when Jonathan Taylor just says, hand that shit to me. Hey, you know what? No, I lied. Give me the Colts, bro. I'm not going to take them against any top 3 running back is not losing to the Bengals. So, yeah, give me Jonathan Taylor and the Colts. But Jonathan Taylor's the reason they win. Give me 3 touchdowns, 215 yards. GG. Thanks for playing. That said, Kenton, we good? Or are you guys both Colts, or are we going Bengals anywhere?
No, I'm going Bengals.
Bengals.
I'm going Bengals.
All right, let's move through. We got to go. But okay, there you go. Bengals on the road. These fellas are believers. Then the Ravens at the Bengals in the rematch. New Year's Eve, prime time. Oh, my God. Forget the party. Bring me the champagne, boy. I'm going to be at home for New Year's Eve watching this one. Oh, my God. I just got excited just looking at the damn thing. But that said, Lamar Jackson loses big games, folks. I did not want to take the Bengals to win anything. But Lamar Jackson ain't got that gene, bro. So give me Lamar Jackson because Derrick Henry going to kill him. But if they lose, it's because Lamar Jackson has butterfingers and he somehow sells this damn thing. But it's a shootout. It's cold as hell. And better hope it doesn't come down to Tyler Loop. Anyway, what do you guys, Ken, where are you going?
With this one, I'm taking the Ravens on this one. As I said earlier, I think it's a split series. I had the Bengals winning early in the season. I think the Ravens win this one.
Seth?
Sweet. Ravens get them out of here.
See ya later. Then getting into the final here, we got the 10 days later. We got the Browns at the Bengals. Bengals probably playing for their lives. Browns playing for absolutely nothing. Anybody here going Browns?
No.
Bengals it is. Ken, I need your official win total for the year. Are they a playoff team? How many wins? And are they a Super Bowl contender in your eyes?
I have them with my win total. I have them at 11-6, which, makes them a playoff team, and at least in most circumstances. With that being said, I don't think they win the division. I think they get second, and it's probably going to be. I don't know. I like the Ravens and the Steelers. I'm leaning towards Steelers to win the division.
Great pick.
Smart man.
But overall, I mean, the three out of the 4 teams in that division have the chance to be very competitive. We all know which one I'm not talking about. The Browns have nothing going for them. But, with that being said, I do think that under the assumption that Joe Burrow is healthy throughout the whole season, I don't think there's any reason that they wouldn't be a playoff team. I don't think there's any reason that they wouldn't get more than 10 wins. But it's all about the competition. And with all of this being said, I don't think that they make it. I don't think they make it to the Super Bowl. I don't think they win the Super Bowl if they make it. And all of this comes crashing down if Joe Burrow gets injured. And that's the story with this team. At the end of the day, they are a great team when Joe Burrow is on the field. But it does not take much for him to get off the field, considering how terrible their pass protection is, despite whatever Orlando Brown said in that in that interview, claiming that apparently they have one of the best O-lines in the league. Sure, best O-line in the league lets Joe Burrow get sacked 213 times in his regular season career. Sure.
Kenton, remember the circumstances out there.
The circumstances, yeah, sure. Sure. Well, it's ridiculous to me. I don't think 11-6 under the assumption that Joe Burrow is healthy. But with that being said, I will probably be wrong because Joe Burrow will probably get injured.
Seth, my final question for you, Seth.
Yes, sir.
The over-under. Kenton mentioned it. 10.5. Over-under. Where are you going?
I think I might be leaning under because I think.
Are they a playoff team?
Hell no.
Well, then you're on under. Then you're easily on the under.
Yeah. If they sneak past there, then maybe, like, if they can rattle off a couple big wins, I could possibly see them making a wild card. But I don't think so. I think the AFC is too deep. Well, they'll see themselves on the outside looking in again this year. So, no playoff team for me.
No playoff team for you. Guys, one more time. Kenton's article, sportsforummedia.com. Key additions, key subtractions, things to expect, how it ended last year, futures odds, where they're at over under 10.5 to make the playoffs. They are a big favorite, minus 186, plus 194 to win the division. Conference winner 10-1, Super Bowl winner 20-1. And some of his final takes for you right here. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, man, Ken, I love you. I saw your best bet on the article.
He was generous, wasn't he? It sounds like he was very generous.
That boy said over 10.5 is the lock.
Woo!
Out of the futures odds, I think that's the best chance.
Hey,
And it's underdog odds, plus money. I think it's a good bet.
they're going 8-9, and if Zach Taylor's not fired, I am going to laugh my ass off. As a Steelers fan, I love it. But, bro, as a football fan.
It happens this year? He gets fired this year?
Bro, how's he have a job? Okay, we got to go. We ain't going to get in this shit. I can talk about this for 10 minutes. I don't understand.
They have a lot of restructuring to do.
Yeah, they do.
From my perspective.
They have a lot of work to do, and Zach Taylor continues to get given it. What in the absolute hell has this? They fired Sean McDermott in Buffalo. You can't say he hasn't been better than Zach Taylor.
Nope.
They parted ways with Mike Tomlin, who doesn't even know what 8 wins smells like. This dude went 6-11, and they're like, "Hey, you want to re-sign?" What? Anyway, I can't, bro. I can't. Anyway, 8-9 for me. I think is generous. 9-8, I could see it. Under 10.5 is a freaking lock. They could win 10. They could wild card, but I think 11 wins. Ken, I hear you, but I don't feel you, my boy. So we will see what happens. Guys, sportsforummedia.com. Go check it out now. Ken's article's up for you. We got another great show going down for you guys coming up here on Sunday. The World Cup preview and predictions. No Friday show for you because we're giving you a Sunday show. So make sure to tap into that. We'll be live for you guys 1 hour prior to kickoff, which is 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live for you guys on Sunday. So tap in for that. Check out the article, sportsforummedia.com. NFL and college football previews galore up for you. And then next week, we got some special guests joining us on some shows. Got some huge teams, some highly requested teams that you guys want to talk about next week. So make sure to tap in for those. Kenton Heidemann at Kenton H Sports, Seth Douglas, S&D Sports Media, myself at Rig Sports Talk, YouTube at The Sports Forum. Hit that subscribe button and the rest of the ats right there for you guys. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Sports Forum CO. Take care, and we'll see you guys on Sunday. Let's go Spain. Peace.
Drop a few pills and pop a few champagne